Good evening, my friends. Welcome back to day 35, episode 32 of Disasterpiece Theater. You made it through April Poetry Month. You're now into May. For those of you that are returning, of course, welcome back. For those of you that it is your first time, welcome to my parlor. Tonight's piece comes at special request. It is entitled A Tribute to the Angels. It's an excerpt from that book. It's by Hilda Doolittle. I hope you enjoy. Let's give it a shot, shall we? I had been thinking of Gabriel, of the moon cycle, of the moon shell, of the moon crescent and the moon full. I had been thinking of Gabriel, the moon regent, the angel. I had intended to recall him in the sequence of a candle and fire, and the law of the seven. I had not forgotten his special attribute of annunciator. I had thought to address him as I had the others, Uriel, Aniel. How could I imagine the lady herself would come instead? We have seen her the world over. Our Lady of the Golden Finch, Our Lady of the Candelabra, Our Lady of the Pomegranate, Our Lady of the Chair. We have seen her, an empress, magnificent in pomp and grace. And we have seen her with a single flower, or a cluster of garden pinks in a glass beside her. We have seen her snood, drawn over hair, and her face set in profile with the blue hood and stars. We have seen her head bowed down with the weight of a domed crown. Or we have seen her, a wisp of a girl trapped in a golden halo. We have seen her with arrow, with doves, and a heart like a valentine. We have seen her in fine silks imported from all over the Levant, and hung with pearls brought from the city of Constantine. We have seen her sleeve of every imaginable shade of damask and figured brocade. It is true. The painters did very well by her. It is true. They missed never a line of the suave turn of the head, or subtle shade of lowered eyelid, or eyelids half raised. You find her everywhere, or did find. In cathedral, museum, cloister, at the turn of the palace stair, we see her hand in her lap, smoothing the apple green, or the apple russet silk. We see her hand at her throat, fingering a talisman brought by a crusader from Jerusalem. We see her hand unknot a Syrian veil, or lay down a Venetian shawl on a polished table that reflects half a miniature broken column. We see her stare past a mirror through an open window, where boat flows, slow boat on the lagoon. There are white flowers on the water. But none of these suggest her as I saw her, though we approach possibly something of her cool beneficence in the gracious friendliness of the marble sea maids in Venice, who climb the altar stair at Santa Maria de' Miracoli. Or we acclaim her in the name of another in Vienna, Marie von Demschnee, Our Lady of the Snow. For I can say truthfully, her veils white as snow, so as no fuller on earth can white them. I can say, she looked beautiful, she looked lovely, she was clothed with a garment down to the foot, but it was not girt about with a golden girdle. There was no gold, no color. There was no gleam in the stuff, nor shadow of the hem. As it fell to the floor, she bore not of her usual attributes the child with her. Hermes took his attribute of leader of the dead from Thoth. And the T-cross became caduceus. The old church makes its invocation to Saint Michael and Our Lady at the deathbed. Hermes Trismegistus spears with Saint Michael in the darkness of ignorance, casts the old dragon into the abyss. My friends, I thank you for joining me again. I intend to keep these going a little bit through May, every now and again. As always, keep it spooky, keep it safe. Cheers, my friends.